Hello and welcome to UK Country News. I am incredibly lucky today because I get to talk to Jackson Dean. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
Mate, honestly, genuinely couldn't be doing better. I just said to you just before, and I'm going to tell everybody else now, why not? I just had your music on in the background. Honestly, this album, if you haven't listened to this album out there, what have you been doing? It's been out since March 11th. It's called GREENBROKE. And it honestly, mate, 10 tracks of absolute gold. You must be proud of it.
I am, man. It was a big feat to accomplish for me. I'd never done anything to that. I never recorded music to that extent before like that. I've been in a Nashville studio once or twice, but not making a Nashville record with Nashville cats like that.
I mean,
Uh,
you say Nashville Cats. Like Luke Dick was helping you with the album, and if people out there haven't listened to this album and you hear Jackson saying, "Oh, I've only been in the Nashville studio like once or twice," guys, this is the most mature album I think that is out there at the moment. Um, what what first of all got you into the music? Because you're quite new in theory. You've been working yourself, so give everybody here a little background to Jackson Dean.
well, I got in music was always around my family. We have a really broad musical palette. We can go from like Casey and the Sunshine Band to like uh, Crosby, Stills and Nash. It's just all over the place. So it's always been around, and I always had this thing with the radio because that was before iPods and all stuff came out and streaming and before all that. I just had this thing with the radio, so it was always there. And then I started playing guitar when I was probably about 13, and just started writing really, really bad songs, really, really bad songs, and never really wanted to do anything with it. I didn't. I thought I was going to end up working, probably running my own work, running construction, just like my dad did, you know. But wanted me to he really wanted me to stick with it, and I did, and I'm really glad that he made me stick with it. But I started playing out in bars when I was probably about 14. um,
Where
I
that
mean,
confidence level is definitely not something I ever had. But to go from picking up a guitar at 13, really, to playing in front of people at 14, you must have been a big natural in that.
man, the first couple times I was shaking like a leaf. But after a couple times of doing that, you're like, oh, we're doing the same thing. It's just you never really know what's going to happen anyway, so you might as well accept it. As that's part of the allure is the unknown of what's going to really happen on stage. But but yeah, it was just like either you do it or you don't. I might as well.
Great attitude. And talking about attitude, I mean, the album is attitude and immense maturity, knowing yourself. Is just fantastic. But what I will bring up instead of fanboying on you is more the fact of the word greenbroke. So
Yeah.
being English, it's not something we ever use. So could you just define that for us?
Yeah. So Greenbroke comes from the horse world. You got two kinds of horses. You got a broke horse and you have a Greenbroke horse. Broke horse is, it'll do what you want. It's it's broken. It's not wild anymore. You can stick your hand in it all the way in its mouth if you want. Dude, it'll just tongue you, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but a Greenbroke horse, you might be able to ride it for a minute or so, but there is really no telling what it will do. And I first heard that term in a movie called Far and Away. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, or he comes over from Ireland,
Yeah.
um, and they're standing there right before the race, and the guy who's buying a horse goes, "Now that that's broke horse. It's dependable. But that's some bitch right there, Greenbroke horse." he'll run all the way to Canada before he stops. And I was just like, that's pretty cool. My dad grew up on a horse farm and boarded racehorses. So it was just something that really stuck with me. And it's a big word and it's singular and it stands on its own. And I knew it was never going to be on the radio. And I started writing that in a tack room, actually, where they used to keep saddles and feed for horses that I lived in for a while. But yeah, that's GREENBROKE, baby.
So do you want to talk a little bit more about this tack room? Because again, a word that I definitely don't use here in England. There probably is people, but not me. But it's definitely something that shaped you as a person. So do you want to tell everybody a bit about it?
So the tack room, aka the shack, it was my uncle's room, it was my father's room, it was my brother's room, it was both of my cousins' rooms. For maybe 35, 40 years, it was a massive party den. There's 5,000 signatures on the wall. It's been painted twice. It's just got a shed roof on it and 4 block walls. And it's got one outlet in it, and that's it. And the wood stove in the corner. When I lived there, I had my wood stove over in the corner, a couch, and then my bed up in the corner. And it was nobody to bother me, nobody to come looking for me. It was just this magical place of peace and like, yep, this is my spot. That I would go back and live there in a heartbeat. It 100% had a big effect on the record. A lot of the songs that are on there, I started writing in that tack room and then took them down to Nashville because I was flying back and forth and whatnot. When I got back into Maryland, I just go live in the tack room. But it's got some mojo, man. It's got some macumba, some magic about it. That can be really good one day, and then that same night you could start to lose yourself in your mind, and you wake up and you're like, all right, I'm good. It's one of those places where you don't know what's, again, unpredictable.
And as you say, like you said there, it's helped massively with the album and your writing in general, because your writing is so mature. I keep going back to the word mature, but it's definitely beyond your years. And do you think, obviously it comes from that area of being sort of on your own in a place where there's nothing to take your mind away from your own mind? Do you think that's helped with your songwriting? Because every single song I could talk for days about finding the deeper meanings to things and the strength of it. But going through that situation of living there and it being so sort of off the track kind of way, do you feel that that's what's enabled you to be so honest and so sort of open in an album which is very based on, wanting to run, wanting to get away, don't stop me kind of, I'm as you say, an untamed horse, but it's an untamed horse that knows itself incredibly strongly. Is that how you see it?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, being in there, you get to ponder the orb like a lot. One of my great realizations in there was, how else are you supposed to gain perspective and knowledge without conversation and question if you don't ask yourself as many questions as you possibly can, if you don't think about each thing like deeply, then there's whole worlds, like you were talking about the record, like, and deeper meanings to things. There's a scene to be seen in every one of those lines in pretty much all those songs. It's just like it can put something else in your head. It's not a matter, and a lot of that is not a matter of physically running. It's in here. You know, it's just going the places in your mind that you might not want to go, but you have to go through to get to the gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way that I could probably put that.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And you're getting to the goal in such a short amount of time as well, from signing your record deal to now touring with huge names in itself. How have you found the roller coaster ride so far, from one extreme to very much the other?
It's exactly that, a roller coaster ride. I've played a lot of different kinds of shows, man. And I've been out on radio tour, and I've done all of those things. I mean, I've played for 10 people. I've played for 70,000. And it's like, it is so up and down that it's just emotionally, you have to, emotionally, to make it worth it, you have to ride with it, and you have to be there in it. So like, your mind is constantly going up and down. You're on a high, and then when there's nothing going on, you're in a low, and you're like, but then when you're on that top of that mountain, and you're like, you have all the adrenaline that your body can possibly give you, and you're on stage and you're just like screaming at the crowd, and you're just like just going nuts, makes all of the low worth the high, for sure. It's been weird, man. It's been really, really awesome, but like in a weird way, because it's like, oh well, like we're on tours now, and we're like playing festivals with like some big folks, and it's like I walked in somewhere the other day, and I was like, oh hey, it's Tim McGraw, how's it going, man? I'll talk to you in a minute. And I'm like, whoa, those words just went through my mind, and that's what's going on right now. You know, it's like, whoa, I'm just a nobody from the East Coast, man. What am I doing here? But here we are.
Mate, you deserve to be here. This album deserves to be here. It's unbelievable. But from the UK, so I'm going to ask you the obvious question that you'll get asked from everybody in the UK. When you're coming over, when can I feel that in an arena or in a nice little venue over here? When can I feel that music?
Dude, I want to be over there as soon as possible. As of right now, we haven't been talking about next year, but I think that'd be a great time to do it. Next spring, I would love to do that. It's been a dream of mine to come over there. I've never been overseas. The only time I've been out of the country has been to Canada. So I would really love to come over there, because I know y'all love guitars, and I know y'all love country music and rock music, and like, we're the perfect blend,
man.
So as soon as I have the opportunity to come over there, I will be there in a heartbeat. I will take a boat over there if I have to.
Swim. You might as well swim. I believe in you.
Yeah.
I won't keep you any longer, man. That's absolutely amazing. I had literally a page of questions, and I have strongly asked you none of them. But hopefully when you make your way over to the UK, I'll get to chat to you face to face, and that'll be amazing. Have you got anything else that you'd like to say to the UK audience? It's probably just, I'll see you soon, hopefully.
I'll see you soon, and when I do, you better be ready to headbang. It's what we're going to do over there.
Oh, we can promise you that. We can promise you that. Thank you so much, Jackson D. And everyone, if you haven't already, please do get yourself listening to GREENBROKE. It is unreal. It's definitely my #1 played album this year. It's fantastic. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks so much, man. I'll see you.